Hi.
Hi.
What do you think about postmodernism?
I don't know. I am studying early modern philosophy at the moment, though. I can talk about Locke, not Bacon. No postmodernists.
Oh, awesome. Which of those three do you agree with most?
Neither. I would classify myself as a scholastic, Aquinas, Bonaventure, Galileo, etc.
Do you like Karl Marx?
No. His philosophy undermines the transcendental properties of being inherent to all people.
What do you mean?
I mean that his notion of the value of a person is measured by that which the person produces. The person's intrinsic value of being good by the act of existing is undercut.
Well, I think he's saying that capitalism causes people to be valued in that way.
I am also talking metaphysics, so excuse me if my language is slightly more abstract.
I don't think that it. He believes that the value of a person should be measured by their labor. Remember when he talks about alienation from the species being? But perhaps you are right. Marx has a very economical and materialist way of looking at the world.
Well, what does Marx think unites one man to the species? What is his equivalent to what Plato would call a form? Marx is the logical progression of Bacon, in my humble opinion. But I admit I have limited amounts of Marx in my head.
I'm not familiar with Bacon. But now that you mention it, Marx's notion of what makes a human is his ability to manipulate nature and to create things.
Right. It is not only his interaction with nature but his mastery over it. Bacon intends philosophy for the purpose of the amelioration of the human condition. That man should become masters and possessors of nature.
Yes, very interesting. It seems this idea of man as the master of nature is predominant in Western thought.
Well, it is after Descartes.
Yeah, and his idea that animals are just machines. One thing that is interesting about Karl Marx is his idea of how capitalism has conditioned the senses. Like, with private property, one only begins to see things as whether or not they can be possessed. What do you think of that?
Right, and Bacon would call that the idol of the theatre. Philosophies that are preconceived affect how you learn. I think that is reduces us to Pavlov's dogs if you hold that we are always tainted.
Yeah. But what makes us different from Pavlov's dogs? I mean, if we look at things like advertising, cinema, etc., we see that there's a lot of methods being used to elicit a specific reaction from us. Like movie tropes, fonts, soundtracks, etc.
But those things do not control our actions. They impact what we think about, but not how we think. It is nature versus nurture.
What do you think controls our thoughts and actions? A natural, intrinsic consciousness
controls them. They are operations of the soul, in my opinion. The soul defined as the animating principle and that which connects us to the divine.
So if that's what makes us different from Pavlov's dogs, do dogs not have souls?
Not rational souls.
Oh, I see.
Well, got to go.